Let's get to shot or no shot. I want to start with the Bears. National media darlings this offseason. I mean, we had a caller in the first hour ring us up and say, why can't they win the Super Bowl? Why can't they do all the things that are put in front of them? We know, like, Rich Eisen had them in the NFC title game. Nick Wright had them in the Super Bowl. Despite the rookie quarterback, no rookie quarterback has ever been to the Super Bowl. So I'm not ready to go there. And the way the offensive and defensive lines look, just not good enough to me. But shot or no shot, the Bears are only 1 year away from that being a legitimate conversation.
Ooh, okay.
They've got $21 million in cap space. The cap will go up next year. Now there are some contracts that will also eat some of that space up. Yes, I think that's a shot.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the national media will find another darling next year, obviously, to make, because they always do.
Of course.
But I do think that the trajectory is what the Lions are on, right? Like, that's the goal is to be the best in the division. The Lions right now are the best in the division. So let's say you get to 10 wins this year and you're in the wild card hunt. Maybe you make a wild card, whatever. The natural next step is that we get to next season and the win totals are right around, 10.5, 10.5, 11.5, something like that for the Lions, Packers, and Bears. So I think that what the problem is that what are the Lions and the Packers going to look like? I think it's a shot, but I think that you're now in a time where the Packers and the Lions are also going to be good. So it's going to be tougher. Like the NFC North could be one of the better divisions in the NFL for the next 5-6 years.
You're correct.
Yep, absolutely.
Like,
so
if you're the Vikings, you're like, oh gosh.
Like
we
got a
long way to go.
Chris and I were talking about this yesterday, ranking the teams that could go from worst to first, right? And like the Bengals could be a team that go from worst in the division to first. They won 9 games last year as the worst in their division. So like you could be looking at a situation like the AFC North where this is just one of the best divisions in football. And yeah, you can say they have Super Bowl aspirations, but someone's got to get out of the division first.
Well, I think the point I'm making too is, like, every year there's a media darling. Last year it was the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
You either live up to the expectations, in their case, exceed them, and then graduate into a serious team.
Yeah.
Like, the Lions are not a darling anymore. Everybody's just taking them very seriously as a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
That's what the Bears will have to hope to achieve going into next offseason.
I think they can.
Instead of being the center of the football world and this media darling, like everybody's telling you how pretty you are, just be a serious team.
Just be pretty. Yes, I agree.
Wow, the Bears did
Shot.
what? They made this edition. Here we go.
Yeah, shot.
And just do your business.
Because like it's the same way you talk about CJ Stroud. Like that's the goal. The goal is to be the Texans. The goal is to that, okay, well, we didn't expect this, but now people do kind of expect it from the Bears because they have a better infrastructure around Caleb Williams than the Texans did around CJ Stroud. And to just say, yeah, Caleb's a top 10 quarterback. This is a top 10 team. That's just what they are now. Yes, shot. Shay.
All right, I've waited a while to get to this one because I didn't want to be accused of first take Shay when I put it out there.
I would never do that to you.
I think we're at a point.
You're breakfast ball Shay to me.
I think we're at a point where I can fairly ask this question. White Sox 2 losses shy of the most in franchise history. They have a chance to tie the franchise record for losses before the calendar flips to September. 2 games left in August. If they lose them both, they tie the record for franchise losses. No team in history has ever lost this many games this quickly. The Sox are 4-33. I'll say that again. 4-33 since the All-Star break. The only other team to even be close to this bad was the 1962 Mets. They were in the first year of an expansion team. The Sox are doing this as one of the original teams in Major League Baseball in the 3rd biggest market in a modern era where being this bad's pretty much impossible. Shot or no shot, it isn't hyperbolic to say the 2024 White Sox are the worst American sports team ever.
That's a shot. And the amazing thing is, and I did not agree with the hiring of Tony La Russa when they did it, but I did think it got way out of control, way over he won 93 games. What was that? 3 seasons ago, 93 games to 4-33. Oh my God.
It's tough for me to say shot because we do have winless teams in American sports. Like, what's the equivalent of no wins in the NFL to Major League Baseball?
This.
Okay, but
this might be harder.
But they've won. Like, that's the only problem. Like, the Lions didn't win. I understand. That's why I'm asking what the equivalent is. Like, for how many, because you can't compare. Like, the Lions literally didn't win a single game. They won no games.
So did the Browns.
And the Browns won no games. Like, you have two teams that went winless. And I understand you've got more, cracks at it or whatever in baseball. So you have the opportunity to win more games. But you have winless teams. I think it's a shot. But you still have, like, even in the NFL, everyone says it's kind of hard to go winless. Like, the Panthers even the Bears fell into a couple wins the year they only won 3 games.
But it's happened twice. Like, it might be hard to go winless in the NFL. It's hard to go undefeated in the NFL. Those things have happened. This feels impossible. 4-33 since the All-Star break. Okay. You've played, 37 games? You've won 4 of them?
That's fair.
This feels impossible.
I saw this yesterday.
That Lions team,
mm-hmm.
They came out of the gate, lost their first game to the Falcons, 34-21. Lost 48-25, like not even competitive.
Yeah.
31-13.
Yeah.
34-7 at home to the Bears.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Cap.
But then they lost 12-10 at Minnesota.
Yeah.
They had a 28-21 at Houston.
Okay.
A 25-17 home against the Redskins. 27-23 at the Bears. They have anything else close? 20-16 to the Vikings and Detroit. And then a couple 31-21s.
I think 2016 against Minnesota was Orlovsky running out of the back of the end zone, too.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's worse. Anytime you got to bring Orlovsky into it, this is much worse.
Lenine Sosa got hit in the nose on a warm-up throw.
I know.
Dude,
they almost
the microcosm.
That I don't know if that's it or if it's the Rob's home run. Like, it's just like, dude, like nothing is going your way.
How about yesterday? Did you see the low light of, I don't even know who was playing second base, ground ball to shortstop, second baseman comes across the diamond.
Yeah.
Fields it, throws it like 5 feet off of first base. Was it Sosa? I wasn't sure if he was starting there because they also got rid of Nicky Lopez.
I saw this from Jason Leisure yesterday. Who has more wins in September, the Bears or the White Sox?
Wow.
The White Sox will face, I'll give it to you, they have the Mets for 1 game. Then they have Baltimore, Boston, Cleveland, Oakland, the Angels, the Padres, the Angels, the Tigers.
The Bears.
So the Bears,
I think the Bears win 3 games in September.
They just went 4-30, 4-34 is what you said? Since the All-Star break, 4-34.
Is that tough?
4-34. That's not even a win a week.
And by the way, they did not get rid of Nicky Lopez yet. They put his contract on waivers, but he remains on the roster as of right now. It's like Drew Smiley. He got waived, but he's still pitching for the Cubs.
Shay.
All right, Deion Sanders, Colorado, played an absolute dogfight at home with Division I AA North Dakota State last night. He also nearly cost himself the game. Moronic decision to, inside 2 minutes with only 1 timeout for NDSU, throw it deep for no reason, stop the clock, save their timeout. They get the ball back, and they were about 3 yards short on a completed Hail Mary from winning the game outright at Colorado. The broadcast was bizarre. Mark Jones was like openly rooting for the Buffaloes. It was kind of wild. They played the montage of Deion taking shots at reporters, the news that he banned a columnist from asking questions at a press conference. And it felt like, at least for me, everyone on social media was kind of doing victory laps around Colorado looking like ass again. Shot or no shot. No one has had a quicker turn from hero to heel than Deion Sanders.
Shot.
I mean, he's certainly in the team photo. I was always kind of a Deion fan.
Yeah.
What he accomplished, how great he was.
Listen, no one wanted...
Disappointing how he's comported himself.
No one wanted Deion to fail. no one was rooting against Deion, okay, last year. I think people were rooting against the attention that they were getting because of Deion. Like, you had Game Day come to Colorado, and I heard it. I forget who was talking about it yesterday. In for Greeny. It was Gabe Neitzel and someone else. But like, they made a concerted effort to get to Colorado early because the networks knew that they were going to suck by the end of the year. And then you add it, like, you can be bad, but you have to be humble about it. Like, you can't start banning reporters and be bad. You can't start, not taking questions from certain media outlets and also be bad. Like, if you want to do that and you've got, trophies in the case like your Dabo, and you don't want to take phone calls during your radio show, I'm not upset at that. It's weak, but I get it. You've earned the right to. That's fine. Deion Sanders was the Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year last year. Now I'm rooting against him because you're just an ass.
He claims, and I did not know this nugget prior to yesterday, he claims that the reporter, Sean Keeler, I think is his name, questioned his faith and mocked his faith. And he said, that crossed the line, and that's why I will not ever answer a question.
What, because he called him the Pope of BS or whatever it is?
There was something about the Pope of...
He inflicted the Pope, so
I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying I did not know that's why Deion was so anti-Sean Keeler.
There was a writer who brought it up too, that got mentioned on the broadcast. And like, I think it was a Denver writer said, this is one, not true, and two, not worth repeating on a national broadcast.
Well, that's fair. But also, he's not a reporter. The guy that they banned,
he's a columnist.
He can say
whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's the point. I think it was Schefter who was saying this as someone who is a reporter and not a columnist. You only did this columnist a favor because of this. Like, he's gotten more attention because of this. And I heard you say, Cap, rather than just not answering his questions, you made this story that much bigger.
All he had to do was, you asked me a question, I'm the coach. Ask me whatever you want. He asked the question, I give you a very vanilla, four-word answer.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on playing North Dakota State? They got a great program. Next. I mean, that's it.
Remember,
give the guy nothing.
Remember, go to Fox Sports with Urlacher?
Yeah.
Go to foxsports.com. Go to foxsports.com. Go to foxsports.com. He took all the questions, didn't ban anybody.
Right.
Was an ass in the process, but still, like, you're not kicking people out. It's ridiculous. Now, rooting against them.
How about
also
the
because I have an
Marshawn
under
Lynch?
ticket.
There you go. Me too.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Just go with that. Like, what do we always say, Cap? Never get in fights with people who don't run out of ink.
Because the line is, don't get into a fight with a man who buys barrel by the ink.
Yeah.
He's got to coach a football team. That dude writes every day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the whole thing. And then, honestly, for me, the reason I'm rooting against him the most is because all the narrative is just so fake.
Oh, I don't care.
Every time I turn ESPN on and they're talking, oh, he's made so much money for Colorado. Yeah, they had an $8 billion endowment before he got there.
You want to know what pisses me off the most? What pisses me off the most, and it's the most minuscule of thing about Colorado, is that ESPN puts them in the playoff promo. That when they're promoting the 12-team playoff, it's Alabama, it's Michigan, it's Washington, it's Clemson, Ohio State, Oregon, Colorado. There's no chance. They're not
It's
horrible.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's so stupid.
And his kid, Shador, who had an amazing game last night.
He's awesome, by the way.
He's so good.
He's awesome.
So
him and Travis Hunter must watch. They're the best players on the every time they step on the field. So they're going to be the best players.
Our friend David Flom, who's a dear friend of mine, David Flom, who owns Chicago Cut, his son goes to Colorado. A year ago, he gets assigned his lab partner in class, Shador Sanders. And I said, what's he like? He goes, Owen said, he's the best. What a great kid. He's just good to everybody. He said, awesome. And I'm glad to hear he's that type of kid.
The other kid, Shiloh, start updating your LinkedIn, buddy.
Dude.
Jesus.
Well,
That game couldn't have gone worse.
little nepotiz will probably keep him on the roster.
Holy smart.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
I don't think that kid's getting drafted.
Shay, do we have time to squeeze in one more?
Let's go to around the NFL.
All right, let's go to around the NFL.